Hello and welcome to KHOI Previews the Arts. I'm your host, Carol Horowitz. I will highlight upcoming arts events and interview people in the arts. This program is presented live every other Thursday and rebroadcast at 7 o'clock that evening. Today, the calendar of upcoming events includes the 2015 Des Moines Arts Festival opening at 11 a.m. Friday, June 26th. That's tomorrow. And it's going to run through Sunday, June 28th, at Western Gateway Park in downtown Des Moines. And we're going to be featuring the festival on today's broadcast, so stay tuned. The 43rd Des Moines Metro Opera's Summer Festival in Indianola opens at 7:30 p.m. Friday, June 26th. The season continues through Sunday, July 19th. And this season's three operas are Mozart's The Abduction of Cyrilla, Puccini's The Girl of the Golden West, and Janáček's Yennefer. For dates and times of the performances, call 515-961-6221. And here in Ames, Ryman Gardens will be hosting the Iowa Regional Lily Society's annual Lily Show on Saturday, June 27th, from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. The Heartland Marimba Festival and Academy's final concert will be presented at 2 p.m. Saturday, June 27th, in the Martha Ellen Tye Recital Hall on the Iowa State University campus. The film The Loriks will be shown at 1 p.m. Saturday, June 27th, in the auditorium of the Ames Public Library. For more information, call 515-239-5646. The Des Moines Symphony's annual Yankee Doodle Pops concert will be presented at 8:30 p.m. Thursday, July 2nd, on the West Terrace of the Iowa State Capitol building. For more information, call 515-280-4000. As I reported earlier, the Des Moines Arts Festival begins tomorrow at 11 a.m. in Western Gateway Park in downtown Des Moines. And since 2007, motion pictures have become part of the Arts Festival. That is when the Interrobang Film Festival began. My guest today is Kristian Day, the producer of that film festival. And welcome, Kristian. Thank you for coming up from Des Moines to be with me today. What a busy time for you. And you're on how lucky we are on KHOI, Previews Arts here in Ames, to have you be with us today. And it's such a busy time. And you're the producer of the Interrobang Film Festival. Tell us about you a little bit.
Oh, man, about me. I took over the Interrobang Film Festival officially on my own last year, but I've been involved with it since 2010 when I was invited to come give a lecture about a documentary.
But you are a professional film producer.
Yeah, and in fact, that's why I was invited back then. Was I had made my first documentary called Brettenhausen Gay Hybrid Pioneer, and it was screening at museums, art shows, and a few film festivals here and there. And I came up and I did a talk, and we had a great crowd, and I was invited back every year for it.
But you also did something about, a favorite of Iowa, Templeton Rye. Didn't you do something with that?
That was 2000. I shot it in 2011. I made two films on Templeton Rye. I made Capone's Whiskey, the story of Templeton Rye, which was a 75-minute feature that was in theaters, 43 theaters in the Midwest, made for a very mild $24,000.
Really?
A different time in my life. That was the time when I lived off $8,000 for about 9 months and made it work.
So some of us here know how that could be because it's mostly volunteer when we work at KHOI, but it's a joy and a pleasure because we meet people like you.
Well, independent film is practically volunteer work. That's why I decided I got into mainstream reality TV and documentaries.
But you're a musician as well.
I do. I'm a composer. I've been doing experimenting with music and noise and sound devices since I was about 12 years old, taking children's toys like Fisher-Price toys from going to thrift shops, rewiring them. It's called the process is called circuit bending, but I just wanted to hear something different. So
can we see that? Have you produced it? Anything?
Oh, there's a lot of stuff out there. In fact, I've put out a number of CDs, cassettes. I guess my biggest
anything
one.
on YouTube that we could kind of zero
there
in
is.
on?
In fact, there's a piece called Buddha Machine and Radio that was done with 2 radios in this little box called a Buddha Machine that was actually it was an instrument invented by a couple of musicians. It wasn't even supposed to be an instrument. It was supposed to be an actual album for them. They wanted to release music not on a record, not on a CD, not on a cassette.
So they contacted you, or you knew them?
Well, they were selling them, and I bought one, and I was hearing stories of people using these devices in installations and other pieces of music, and so I decided to bought 2 of them, and I had 2 radios, and I was switching in between different channels and noise and dial tone stuff, and made this really beautiful piece. It's probably one of my favorite recordings to date.
So it's called
Buddha Machine and Radio.
And we can find that?
You can find that on YouTube. There's actually a music video-ish that I made for it that was cut-ups of some 16-millimeter documentary footage.
Your credits are remarkable, and how lucky they are to Stephen King, who is the director, I guess that's what he is, the director of the Des Moines Arts Festival, to be able to have tapped into your talent, and that's what you're doing now. And you are the producer. You started as assistant, and you are the producer of the Interrobang. Tell us, and it's called I'm going to spell it for everybody, Interrobang. And I think there are very few people who really know that that's a word and it describes something. What is it?
It's a question mark and exclamation point. I didn't know what it was until about a year ago when that was the first question I get from people is, what does Interrobang mean? And I'm like, I really don't know.
Yeah, I talked to Stephen King too, and I think he was surprised that I didn't know what that word meant, but I do now.
I Googled it. And actually, I was Googling to see what type of back press there was for Interrobang when I started to get more involved, and I found a definition of it. I'm like, oh darn, that is an actual word. I thought we invented that. I
thought it was invented. I thought it was, and somebody's name, a couple of names together, but no, it's a word, and it's a wonderful film festival. Began in 2007, and it's integrated. How did that happen? It's part of the Des Moines Arts Festival.
It's hard to say because it's hard to describe to people because you say, well, what's the Interrobang Film Festival? It's part of the Des Moines Arts Festival, and I always describe it's the motion picture arm of the Des Moines Arts Festival because it is a visual medium, and they I guess felt that they were missing a part of the art scene by
not only that, it's presented in air-conditioned splendor. Where is it?
We are located in the Central Library, on the western side of the Central Library. And this year, if you want to get out of the heat, this is the first time we're offering beer, wine, other beverages.
In the library?
In the library.
Ooh.
We have a little bar. We have popcorn. In fact, in the past, we haven't really had anything in there. It's just been a place to either come see movies or to get out of the rain, which... Unfortunately,
not going to happen.
Well, let's hope not.
Not going to happen. Enough. It did it all. It's going to be a rain-free weekend. That's what you're planning on.
Yes.
So tell me, what is the festival, and who gets involved, and how do you select your films and tell us about
this year was a little bit was different than usual. We switched our submission website. We used to use Without a Box, which was a very well-known film festival submission website, and we switched over to Film Freeway.
Just general.
And then I wanted to also reach out to foreign markets directly. So that was me. I emailed film commissioners from all over the world, and about 20 of them responded, and I offered waivers. I want to see your best films come to our festival. So we got some great pieces, including Kosovo's entry for the Academy Awards.
Really?
We've got some...
and that will be presented. Is there a schedule that people
There
could
is
follow?
on the website. It has been, unfortunately, every day something has to change. So what the current schedule is actually, I think the current one is going to be set in stone. We've got some great student work, a great feature film called Wildlife, which has just been picked up for distribution, that stars Bruce Greenwood, who was in Mad Men, and he played Christopher Pike in the new Star Trek movies.
So was that just good luck or good picking by you?
Well, every festival season there's a handful of films that kind of hit every festival until they get picked up. And
are there many arts festivals that include? Because I've been to many art fests, and I don't remember.
South by Southwest would probably be one of the main ones where it was more of an arts festival.
Austin?
Yeah, down in Austin,
Texas,
that added film later on. This art festival, we're kind of unique in that sense, where we have the regular arts festival, but we also have this film portion. And our film part is also interactive because we do workshops as well. We do an iPhone filmmaking workshop, which I started that 2 years ago, and it was great. We get sponsors from companies like Olloclip, iStabilizer, and we give out product to people for prizes. We also do a Midwest filmmakers panel, so filmmakers that are from the region who are able to attend the festival, we're going to put them all in a room and do a panel discussion. We also have Marty Knepper from Morningside College in Sioux City, who wrote a book called The Book of Iowa Films, and she's coming to give a lecture. So
just let me ask you, if do people know that there's going to be an Iowa a film component, and do they design or create a film so that you could see it and possibly put it into is anything designed early for you? I mean, specifically.
No, nothing is designed specifically for Interrobang. I mean, in film festivals in general, they're not. I mean, people make films and then they take them to the festival circuit so they can hopefully get picked up. Because if most independent films cannot get distribution, I mean, I was lucky back in 2012 when Templeton Rye was in theaters, being independent, no distribution, and I distributed it myself.
How did that happen? I'm going to...
Old-fashioned. I had the film, and money had been spent on it, and we had just had a TV special. I had made a spin-off for public television that aired with Ken Burns' Prohibition, and so it was kind of a good time because there was this hype. We had made this smaller film, and now we had this bigger film, and it was very niche market. At the time, Templeton Rye was big, but not really that big outside of Iowa. I mean, Chicago.
Iowa.
Yeah, Iowa, big, Chicago, maybe New York, but I don't think really people that cared.
That's when it sort of was getting its hype. People were talking about it.
Yeah. So when I was able to do things the old-fashioned way, and I called up. I found these small mom-and-pop theaters, single and twin-screen theaters, and made arrangements with them. And some of them were harder to get to because some of them were owned by communities. So I would have to, call the city hall.
How long a movie is it? The documentary?
It was a feature. It was 75 minutes.
Oh, really? So it was
75 minutes. And so we had a digital print produced for it. And was it before you were part of the Des Moines Art Festival? Was it part of Interrobang before? I mean, did they include your Templeton? Yeah, they played. I was a different person back then. I was very stingy, and I did allow the television special that I produced to screen there. At the time, I didn't want my feature to screen because I knew we had a market that I could probably go straight, direct to market with it, rather than allowing it to screen for free somewhere. Today, I probably wouldn't care. I'm about here, watch it, watch my stuff, whatever you want to do. But back then, I was very much like, if this movie cost money, I'm only going to screen it in return for money. So that's why it didn't screen there. But the television special, the 30-minute television special I produced, I did screen at Interrobang in 2012.
Okay, and well, what we're going to tell everybody is, give me something of the schedule, not which movie plays when, but it seems that on Saturday is the workshop and those kinds of things you're going to
Yeah.
run. So tell us about Saturday.
Well, we have 2 screening rooms, then we also have a workshop room. And then why there are screenings going on in
So
the
it's
screen-
concurrent.
Yes.
So I could be watching a film and not attend, and someone else, and you have another group attending a workshop. Can you just come in and attend, or did they
you
sign
just come
up?
in. No, I mean, that's the beauty of it being free. Come as you come, and come whenever. Only come for one film, come for a couple films.
And what about learning about, in your workshops?
No, the workshops, that's interactive. I mean, I have a presentation because I do the iPhone.
What
filmmaking.
time is that?
The iPhone filmmaking workshop, I believe it's about 1:00.
1:00, and let's say where the website is. So if you're not exactly right, they could see.
Yeah,
the
don't
correct
take my
time.
word for it at the moment.
Okay, so how do you get?
Go to the Des Moines Arts Festival.com, click on film, and all of our schedule is on there.
Okay. But Saturday is the day of workshops.
Day of workshops and films.
And films. Yeah. But the films are happening all the time, but the special day is Saturday, and Saturday is the day that you can even learn about stuff. What are we going to learn about at the workshop?
The iPhone filmmaking workshop, I started shooting on my iPhone with the iPhone 4S a couple of years ago, and now you can go whenever I'm in LA. I see more and more billboards and ads shot on iPhones, and I don't see and I say LA because I don't see them around here, but I've seen them there all the time. When I was out there all of March, I would see shot on the iPhone 6 these giant billboards. This is all done on a small phone. You don't need to invest in a lot of money in equipment. Now, I did when I started out. I remember I bought two cameras, $6,000 a piece back then. And I think back now, these phones can do better video than those ever could. And so when you have parents who hear their kids say, "I want to get into filmmaking, I want to make movies," the first thing they think of is, "Oh my gosh, this is going to cost so much money." It doesn't have to. You can do it with a phone. You can buy some, spend about $30-$40 on a lens attachment, and get a fisheye or whatever.
But you're going to tell the guests, the people who come to your workshop, how
you can do it.
How long is
It'll go for about an hour. We're going to have a screening called the Mobile Innovation Screening, which is a selection of films that have been submitted to the festival that were all shot on smartphones. So we're going to screen those films first, and then I'm going to do the workshop afterwards.
Cool. And so, is there more than one workshop that day? Is there any other interactive experience?
Prior to my workshop, there is the Hardaker Film Festival is coming because Hardaker Film Festival is the oldest film festival in the state of Iowa, but this is their first year that they're not having a festival because they're trying to raise money to save their theater.
Where are they located?
Tipton. And I invited them to come up because that was in 2007 when I moved back to Iowa. That was the first festival I attended. And I always, whenever I think of going to a film festival, I think of going to Hardaker. So I invited Will Valle to come up and show his best of shorts and kind of talk about the history of his festival because it is the longest running film festival in Iowa.
So it's incorporated in the 3 days?
Yes.
So that's incorporated in 3 days, but that person, Will, is going to give a talk.
He's going to give a talk, and then after me, at 3 o'clock, there is the Book of Iowa Films lecture. And then at 5 is the Midwest Filmmakers panel, where you could meet all the filmmakers, get them together, and we're going to ask them questions about making films in the Midwest.
So
and
that's
how's it
all on Saturday.
It's all on Saturday.
And so, boy, what a day you can have, because we're going to be talking soon to Liz Edelman. She is the publicist of the Des Moines Arts Festival, and she's going to tell us all the other things. But now we really have been focusing happily on the film festival. So right now we're going to play something that Kristian has brought us, and we're going to try to reach Liz on the phone. that was, and Kristian Day, my guest today, who is the producer of the Interrobang Film Festival, part of the Des Moines Art Festival that's going to be happening this weekend, is going to tell you the music he brought to best depict his film festival. So that was music that you're going to tell us about.
Yeah, I picked, when you were asking me about bringing some music in, I picked music from some of my favorite films. That was from John Carpenter's Assault on Precinct 13. That was the main theme. A little history about that song. It was inspired by Led Zeppelin's Immigrant Song. That da-na-na-na-na, da-da-na-na-na-na. But he slowed it down, did it on a Moog synthesizer. And that score was composed, produced, everything was done in 2 days for that movie, Assault on Precinct 13, and done by the director, John Carpenter.
And you heard it here on KHOI Previews the Arts, I'm proud to say. Now, my guest, Kristian Day, is the producer of that film festival, the Interrobang Film Festival, and tell us more specifically, how do you choose your movies? How many films are going to be shown? And is it the whole time that there's from 11 tomorrow morning till Sunday when it's over, there are going to be films playing
around the clock? Yes, our last screening, I believe, is at 2 or 2:30 on Sunday. Then we have our awards ceremony at 3 o'clock.
Tell us about that. Who gets awards?
Well, we pick 3 winners: Best of Show, Best Student Film, and then we have Best Documentary. So,
who are the judges?
Well, I can't say who they are.
Oh, okay.
We have 2 very respectable guys out of Des Moines.
Tell me later.
Yes, I will.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, that is just to save face for them.
Okay, because it would be difficult to bypass
it's hard.
Somebody. Yeah,
it's hard because everyone's opinion's different, and even like
not Price Waterhouse.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
well, it's like I'll do a blog post after the festival of my picks that I liked. And my tastes are different than the judges' tastes, but that's why there's multiple judges to kind of hash it out on what's should win.
So the schedule of the films are going to be on the website, and that website is
Des MoinesArtsFestival.com.
And you're going to know the schedule of films, but do you want to tell us about any one or two?
I'll tell you a couple films that I liked. Okay, so we do have tomorrow, and I'm saying this one first because it's in the middle of the day of Friday. So if people want to know about it, they need to know now. It is called The Syndrome. It's directed by Meryl Goldsmith, and it's about a woman who is wrongfully accused of murdering her baby by shaking it. And
is this an actual?
This is a real story. Yeah, it's a real story, and it's making a lot of great waves.
When did this happen?
That I couldn't tell you. But
it's a true
story. It's a true story, and it's been getting a lot of controversy. Meryl's been up on NPR several times on different radio stations. It's been it's getting a lot of great press. The other film I mentioned earlier was Wildlike, Bruce Greenwood, directed by Frank Green.
Mr. Greenwood is a film person or a TV person we might know.
Yeah, he was in Mad Men, and he was also in the new Star Trek films as Captain Pike. We also have a film, and I think a lot of Ames might know this guy. He plays a lot of shows up here. Little Ruckus has made a film called Wrongdoing. And I actually did the digital mastering for it, and it premiered when I used to own a movie theater in Fairfield, and we premiered it there, and he is bringing it up to Interrobang.
Well, that's terrific, and that's fun, and our engineer is very excited. I guess he's going to go tomorrow afternoon. And when is that going to play?
That is, I believe that's actually Saturday.
Saturday, Rick.
Yes.
Rick, the engineer, is very excited about that.
It's a great movie.
Ruckus.
It's wild, too.
And you know Ruckus? Yeah,
Dominic is a great guy.
Yeah, so that is so cool.
Rumor has it he is sleeping on my couch through the weekend. So,
but you're probably not home.
I know I'm not home. He'll be moving in.
What a busy time for you people, and talk about busy time. We've got Liz Edelman on the telephone. She's the publicist of the Arts Festival, and Liz, are you with us?
I'm here, yes. Hi.
Liz?
Hello? Yes, I'm here.
Hold on, she's putting her earpieces on.
Liz, do you hear me?
I hear you. Hello.
Hello. We just had a terrific visit with Kristian, and we know a lot about the film festival. But holy smoke, the big thing, the film festival is part of this enormous Des Moines Art Festival, and you are working very hard on it, and I'm so grateful that you could be with us, and you're on KHOI Previews the Arts. There are highlights.
Thank you for having us. I'm actually sitting in the sculpture park right now in downtown Des Moines watching the festival site be built. We have all of the artists and vendors and sponsors are all unloading today, and it's fun to kind of see it evolve over the next couple of hours and see everything kind of get filled. It's definitely looking like an arts festival.
And it's not raining, Liz.
It's not raining, not at all.
And Kristian said that your area is clear of water. So
we are clear of water. We have no water.
You have no water, and
dry.
people can feel comfortable attending and seeing all the wonderful things that you're going to share with us.
Absolutely. Wear comfortable shoes, just because there's so much to see. There's a lot to see in the Western Gateway Park at the Arts Festival. So I would recommend definitely wearing comfortable shoes when you come down here this weekend.
Yeah, well, tell us. Start where you want to start, because there is so much, and we're going to be
much to cover. The festival, no tickets are required. Everybody's welcome. We open tomorrow at 11 a.m. So the hours are 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Friday and Saturday, and we open again from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Sunday. So it's a 3-day event in downtown Des Moines, Western Gateway Park.
Are we going to see any art?
Park. Pardon?
Are we going to see any art?
Oh, are you going to see art? There's tons to see. We have 195 visual artists.
And the thing that I find so appealing is the availability and the manageability, the way you set it up, that you can really go there and you can visit with the artists are right there. And you just can visit with the artists and talk to the artists about their work. And so that's so exciting. So I just find the thing that is, people shouldn't be afraid of going to an arts festival. This is open to everyone, and it's very comfortable. And you can meet some artists that are pretty well known, and so do you want to give us a rundown about a little bit about the art, and also we can talk about some of the Ames connections too, because we have.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like I said, we have 195 artists that represent works in ceramics, painting, photography, metalwork. We have the emerging Iowa artists. We have Iowa artists that are students that are here.
Yeah, we have 3. I can see that there are 4 Iowa State University students who are in your emerging artist program and being presented. And can I tell it's Karen Doty and Allison Harbaugh and Emily Baxter and Sarah Lukanovitz. I hope I said that right. And then there's a ceramicist who is an artist. She's not just emerging. She started, yes. She started, and she was a guest on KHOI Previews the Arts. We talked about her art and a project that she was doing. So we know Amanda. So that all right. So I gave my plug for my Ames artists. Now tell us more.
Okay, so not only do we have art, we have something. The arts. One of the things that I pride myself on, and we at the Arts Festival pride ourselves on it. We truly have something for everybody. Whether you want to come down and purchase art, look at art, be a part of art, we have tons of interactive art for people to participate in. We have stuff for the kids. We've got 26 food booths. We have food trucks this year. There's incredible music on the Hy-Vee main stage. There's incredible performing arts on the performing arts stage. So there is something for everybody.
Is there a schedule of for the musicians? I mean, if I wanted to go just to see some dance,
all the schedules, because everything starts tomorrow at 11 and will run through Sunday. But the schedules can be found on our website, which is DesMoinesArtsFestival.org/schedules. Full schedule of events with times and locations at the festival site.
But the artists, the ceramicists and the photography and all those, the works of art are there all the time.
Yes, they're there all weekend long. Weekend long. And we also have, which is, I think, very cool, live professional artist demonstrations.
Oh, okay.
That are happening throughout the weekend. So there's several artists that will be doing live demonstrations. And again, if you visit the website, DesMoinesArtsFestival.org/schedules, there is a full list of everything that's going on. Because I think that's cool for people to be able to see the art actually happening.
So is anybody throwing pots? Throwing clay? Do you have any?
You never know.
Throwing pots. We could go, but do you have any names of people who? Because Ames is a pretty artful community, and we know artists, and so I'm curious to know if there's somebody that the kind of work that will be demonstrated. Is it ceramics?
Yeah.
Is it
like, for instance, tomorrow, which is the 26th, we have an artist demonstration from 12 to 1 from artist Karen Doty. She's a mixed media illustration that combines
and she's an emerging
watercolor.
Artist. Karen is an emerging artist. She's an
no.
I have
Karen.
Yeah.
Is she? Oh yes. Okay. Yes, she'll be on tomorrow, or she's doing it. She's at booth 10 tomorrow from 12 to 1, doing a mixed media demonstration.
Right, and can you? So that's a mixed media. Do you have any fiber artists or glass? Are they going to blow any glass? Are they going to do any glass blowing?
You'd have to. There's such a full list of artist demonstrations on the website. So if you visit the website DesMoinesArtsFestival.org/schedule.
Okay, so we're going to find out, and it's happening throughout the 3 days, right?
Yes.
That we can see these artists doing their stuff. And besides the art, besides the film festival, there is music. Want to tell us about that?
Absolutely. So we have 3 different stages at the Des Moines Arts Festival. We have the Hy-Vee main stage, the Community Choice Credit Union Performing Arts stage, and the Jazz and Wine Pavilion presented by Meredith. Some of the highlights. Everything is a must-see, but we're very excited to welcome Greg Brown to the festival on Friday night. He's opening for Matt Carney. And then on Saturday night, we have Eddie Money, who will be on the Hy-Vee main stage. We have a very cool new performing arts group called Satirist Juring. They'll be on the Community Choice Performing Arts stage along with Ballet Des Moines. We're partnering with Civic Music Association on the Jazz and Wine Pavilion. There's tons of stuff going on over the 3 days, and I encourage everybody to visit the website for a full list.
Kristian is sitting with me, and when you mentioned the comedy troupe, he gave me a thumbs up. Do you know about them?
Satirist Juring's Ian Miller's act, and Ian Miller is such a creative pioneer for Des Moines. Everything that man does turns to gold and is amazing. So it is a.
And what's the name of the group?
Satirist Juring, and they have a children's book that was just published. It's great stuff. I highly recommend checking it out.
And his name is?
His real name is Ian Miller, but his creative name is Satirist Juring, which is this entity that he has created, which is this comedy troupe. It is morphed into different things. He used to be a mask maker, and now he's an author, and now does this kind of Dada style comedy. It's great.
Now, do you know any? I'm talking to Kristian now, and Liz, and I just want to know if you know of any. You know more about any of the other performers that are going to be presenting.
So on Friday on the performing arts stage we have Debbie Doo-Wop and Dynamite Dan. They're a kids
fun
organization, performing arts. They are a guitar keyboard singer duo, and they play original educational children's music. So they'll be on the Community Choice Credit Union Performing Arts stage at 11 a.m. tomorrow. We have Satirist Juring, like Kristian mentioned. The Satirist Juring, there's a tale of these wild travels and misadventures from his book, The Niche. And the Satirist Juring will be on throughout the 3 days. Some other highlights are Rich Webster and Sarah Nevis. They're a mix of Americana and blues.
And we're going to know when these, our choices, we can choose our choices by going to the website and
absolutely,
right,
yes.
and seeing, that really trips my trigger. Is there a phone number?
Is there a phone number? The best way to get stuff for our full list of information is the website.
I know, but there are people who sometimes who don't have that option. So.
There's signs. I mean, if people who don't use, people who are not on the interwebs, that we do have signs posted all over with schedules around the festival.
And the newspaper.
And the newspaper has it as well.
The newspaper, absolutely.
And the newspaper. So, but there are people who listen to this program who may not have internet capability. So there's no phone number to call, but just check the newspapers, because you're doing a heck of a job, Liz.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah, because you're all over the place, and so that's really fun. Let's mention some of the. Can we mention some of the artists that are going to be doing their artwork? And do we get a schedule? Do we get a program when we come to the?
Yes. Oh, yes. So there's several information booths throughout the festival, located on the festival grounds.
Because you have 195, and if I really wanted to see Will Armstrong's drawings,
Will will be here. Will will be back at the festival this year. So there are going to be large information signs, and you'll see the huge flags that say information, so they're easily identified. And if you go over to any of those information booths, we actually just saw the programs just arrived about 20 minutes ago before I got on the phone with you. So the programs are ready, and that program is going to give you everything that you need to know for the weekend. It will give you the booth numbers for all of the artists. It will give you the schedule of events that are taking place throughout the weekend. So, yeah, that's a very good thing to tell your viewers. Please visit our information booth, and you can have a program that will give you the how-to, where-to, what, who, what, why, when on the arts festival.
Do you know what we didn't mention? We didn't mention that if I decide to draw a picture, I can't just come to the festival and show my art, can I?
No, we're a juried arts festival.
Absolutely, and internationally renowned now. You have. Why don't you tell us about? Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're a juried art festival, and every year those jurors change. So it changes every year, so you can get a fresh perspective from people. The process takes place in the fall. Applications go out at the end of September, and you have until the end of October to get your application in. And then the jury selection happens in December, and we let artists know in late December, early January.
So you've chosen 195. You had
from a
how
pool
many?
Of over 1,000 applicants.
There you go. And where are these 195? How many are?
They represent 36 different states in Canada this year, and 60% of the artists are new to Des Moines this year.
That's what I was going to ask you. Who's returning? So how many percent are new?
60%.
Wow. That's and you had over 1,000 entrants.
Over 1,000 applicants.
Wow. And how many jurors do you have? I know I asked
5.
5 because I asked Kristian about who jurors his film festival or your film festival, and he wasn't at liberty to tell me. And I'm not going to ask you who the jurors are unless you.
It's public knowledge. Yeah, it's a public knowledge.
So who are they?
I'd have to pull that up on my information because it was back in December. But it's 5 artists.
Are they any local that we might know?
Yeah, there is a local woman who owns. She owns Olson Larson Gallery.
Oh, okay.
She was a juror this past year.
Yeah, Sarah. Anyway, that's okay. So, yeah, the Olson Larson Galleries, wonderful galleries. They're in West Des Moines on 5th Street, and it's they're a good place to visit, and they have quality art and represent mostly Midwest and a lot of Iowa artists, too.
Susan Watts.
Susan Watts.
Olson, yes.
Yeah, and so she was one of your jurors.
One of the jurors, yes.
And you want to mention the others?
Stephanie Baruina.
Okay.
Robert Reeves, Michael Schwegman, and Dylan Stradinsky.
Thank you very much for that information. And they picked 195 quality artists who are going to be presented this weekend. At Western Gateway?
In the Western Gateway Park. Right around the sculpture.
And it's not going to rain. I mean, you figured that out. That's one of your jobs, Liz.
Yep, it's not going to rain.
It's not going to rain.
It's actually really lovely. Like I said, I'm sitting here in the sculpture park having this conversation with you and watching the festival be built and watching artists unload. It's very exciting to see this all happen.
Well, I'm really pleased that your cell phone is working because my producer had said, see to it that she's not on a cell phone. But when I asked you, it's working great. It's working great. I can hear you. Well, you know, I'm very grateful for your time, and I'm glad you're sitting there. We're envious. And
yes, well, you have to. Well, I hope to see you this weekend. Are you coming down?
I'm going to try. And so tell me again. Give me the rundown. Give me the information, the website, and where it is. How do you find Gateway Park?
The Western Gateway Park is in the heart of Des Moines. It's the sculpture park where we are located in the sculpture park in downtown Des Moines. The festival kicks off on Friday at 11 a.m., goes to 10 p.m. Same on Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Sunday, 11 a.m. to 5. Our full schedule of events of what's going on throughout the weekend can be found at DesMoinesArtsFestival.org. We have something for everyone. We have interactive art. We have music. We have great food. We have something if you just want to get out of the house and walk around, wear your comfortable shoes. It's a beautiful location to have this amazing art festival.
It's very manageable.
Very accessible.
Accessible, manageable, and you could visit with the artists and talk to them about their work.
Artists love that.
And me too. And there's demonstrations and a lot of things very user friendly.
A lot of stuff for kids. We've got a lot of. We're partnering with several nonprofits to offer interactive arts opportunities for kids. You can do spin art. You can make a toy for your pet. You can make mosaics. Other guests can interact with our Metro Arts Alliance.
Why don't you tell us about the awards this is really a first-class operation, and you have won awards for among the best art festivals in the country.
If not, I think one of the best art festivals in the world.
In the world, see?
Yes, in the world.
It really is. And so you have won awards, and this year is going to happen again. You're going to get the awards indeed, and you've done a terrific job, Liz. And I thank you for taking time to be with me today on KHOI and sharing this exciting event. And it's going to be a must-go-to definite destination this weekend for the people who are listening to us today. Thank you, Liz.
Thank you so much.
we just heard, and my guest, Kristian Day, is going to tell us what we just heard.
That was the theme music from an Italian film called Twitch of the Death Nerve. The American title was Bay of Blood. This is a pre-Friday the 13th slasher by director Mario Bava. Amazing film, very nostalgic. But
why did you choose that for?
I love exotica music. I love the sort of. Exotica music has always had a huge place in my heart. That's all I can say. And that tune, which is not even in the movie, it's only in the trailer, has always, every now and then pops in my brain. Usually when I'm walking around in a leisure suit, smoking a cigar.
Of course, we know that's a little bit of humor, but Kristian Day has been with us for this hour. Kristian is the producer of the Interrobang Film Festival that is part of the Des Moines Art Festival that is going to start tomorrow at 11 a.m., and will be through that day, through Friday, then again on Saturday, and then on Sunday. We've talked to Liz Edelman, who is she is the publicist for the entire festival, but our guest, Kristian, is the in-charge guy for this wonderful film festival that's going to be at the library, at the new library. Well, I call it new. It's probably not so new anymore.
It's not so new now. I mean, the old library is now the World Food Prize building, but our current library, the Central Library, is a beautiful, beautiful
And so you can go and seek the movies that some jurors, we don't know who they are, but some jurors had selected and see it throughout the whole festival. And then on Saturday, there's there workshops, and you can find out how to do a film on your iPhone. And anyway, it's going to be a terrific event, and I'm so grateful to Kristian, who came to Ames this busy time to be with us on KHOI Previous Arts, and thank you so much.
You're welcome. I don't get to Ames that often, but when I heard that when Liz asked me about a week ago to come up here on the day of load-in, by the way, I was like, I can go check out the I Love Music store for the first time. I can go to, which I will have to ask you guys. You didn't know where it was, but you probably know where it's at.
You didn't get to go because you were coming early, but you're going to be here again.
I might walk over there after I get done here, so check it out.
Okay, see? There's a reason that you came to share all the stuff that's happening with you guys in Des Moines, but also you came with another purpose. So I am Carol Horowitz, and this program will be rebroadcast tonight at 7.